Thank you guys. That is nice to hear. Oh, thank you, Pixel, for being on the right side, meaning I only have to change this. Okay. Oh, Rich with a bit of uncertainty with his arms there. That is most intriguing. And Pixel is back rocking his two mediums, his Sparky and his Chiller. And we're actually on the temple grounds, so it is Misango's stomping ground. I'll be interested to see if either player used the poles, but it appears that Rich is saying, no poles, I do not want poles, these poles are going down. Let's get a bit closer to the action, take a look at what Pixel is up to, shall we? So the advantage on Pixel's side is that the two arms that Rich is using, even when charged, are not really going to have too much of an effect against Mechanica's armor, which does give Pixel really good offense against this setup. Unfortunately, it can't help him get through a block. So both players use Flurry there. Rich is slightly leading this game. Pixel suffering from the poison there. Ooh, that is good timing. You'll see that the big thing that Pixel will need to adjust against a fighter like Rich is the timing of those punches, because an unfortunate flurry there from Pixel into the last 10 seconds. And now we've a tiny bit of health between them. That means Rich is now in the lead in terms of health. Pixel needs to do something. Obviously Rich expected a grab at the end. So yeah, the thing with Pixel is, oh, and a cheeky grab, just seeing that dash straight away from Rich. Pixel's timing will need to be perfect to catch Rich, and unfortunately Rich has had flurry, saw Pixel in the air, says this is an easy flurry opportunity for me. And here we go, using that pecking arm just to do damage to Pixel, just damaging the arms. Even when you're not doing damage, if you're affecting the arms, you're working towards an arm break, and then hopefully a free bit of damage. But Pixel is doing good, is doing damage, but Rich has just got flurry, just used flurry. Oh, and Pixel was so close that his dash actually almost entirely circled Rich and helped him avoid that. That was very good. If I was Pixel, I would seriously consider just closing that distance. I mean, we have seen that Rich plays very well when he can maintain some really nice spacing. So maybe it is in Pixel's interest to close that gap, especially with an arm like the revolver. And if you're closer, just those quick grabs, much harder to react to. If we get some smart curving from Pixel, oh, that flurry was unfortunately delayed, and Rich is right about to get flurry right about now. One or two punches. And there's flurry. Oh, and he gets snagged on the down jump. I thought that was a double KO. My word, that was so close. Peck, peck, peck. I will be streaming until the tournament finishes, so probably likely around 10:30, 11ish. That was clutch. I mean, that is the strength of Mechanica's armor, and with an arm like the revolver, where you can just try and get some cheeky snags, if you time your punches correctly, the pressure can be devastating, especially when you're against arms like what we see Rich using, and you can't really... And Mechanica's armor is just like tanking everything. She is a terrifying fighter to go up against. Let's take a look at Pixel's view. Maybe we shouldn't have done. obviously when your opponent has flurry, sending both your arms out quite so eagerly is often an invitation to eat the flurry. There's some good movements from Pixel. We're seeing him trying to use the dash into punch just to try and counter any sort of movement we can get from Misango. And actually you're seeing those arms curling around are actually denying Misango movement. Oh, didn't quite manage to punish the arm break and eats the grab. Oh! Wow, another failed flurry from Rich. Oh, and an unfortunate grab decision led to a fun chuck to the face. Which means Rich takes the first round. That was a close round though. We are currently in semi-finals, so Pixel and Rich are the last remaining players in winner's side. And after this we'll be moving over to loser's side. That was very close, Pixel. Very good adaptation with moving closer. Unfortunately, Rich just had you. He was confident in the punches. Pixel Mechanica, round 2. And we are on Name Redacted. Obviously the newest stage added to arms. That big conveyor belt in the middle gives some crazy mobility in one direction. And all those big test tubes are adding terrible obstacles for our fighters to deal with. Sorry, little gassy. To be fair, for a fighter like Rich, I think fighting across the way is... He does not want to be that. We saw this on DNA Lab. He likes to fight lengthways across a stage. Pixel would do well to just pressure into that middle game. Although, you know, Rich does say, well, I've got flurry. I'm going to use this. Ooh. The health situation is close. Although Pixel is working on a flurry. Oh, but unfortunately eats that toaster to the face. Obviously these obstacles help and hinder both players. You don't think I have the word fun in the title enough? Nah, nor do I. I did cut like 5 out. And here we have Pixel. Pixel has now got Rich just in a corner. Although, oh, Rich might have wriggled out of it. Yes, Rich has indeed wriggled out of his corner he was trapped in. But because of the way the conveyor is moving, Pixel still had the advantageous position. As you can see, Rich has now moved to the other side of the stage because it seems he would much rather fight here because the conveyor belt is going to work to his advantage, carrying his opponent away should they try and use it. No, nobody puts Richie in a corner, absolutely. The health situation in this match is actually currently in Pixel's favour. Oh, and that was a cheeky grab, which means Rich is very close to saying goodnight in this round, although he's about to charge his flurry. But there is that Mechanica armor coming into full play as she just tanks that fun chuck and tags with a couple of revolver shots. Straight in there with that flurry. Rich is wasting no time using that. Knowing that Pixel's about to charge his flurry, it makes sense to go in with an early flurry in a match, just because then you're charging another flurry for the rest of the match. if you don't use the flurry straight away, you're kind of wasting time. But Pixel has already almost made back the entire difference that flurry made, and is now sitting on a full flurry, which is why you can see Rich just trying to find those single punches, and there we go. The single punches meant that Rich had the ability to move, and Pixel didn't optimize the spacing, which meant Rich managed to avoid. But Pixel does have the health advantage right now, although Rich is about to get that charge. There we go, Rich with flurry charge, sees Mechanica in the air and says, "You're going to the floor." Time for a crash landing. Something, a better catchphrase than what I came up with. There we go, congratulations to Rich. Those were very good matches, Pixel. Okay, so that means Rich is in the finals, the top of our winners bracket. Congratulations, Rich. It's about time we crack on with losers. So if I could have Faz and Nomcoms into the game, please. These two here. Doobie 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 doo. If I throw you this link, it'll be a link to the bracket, right? If I just pop that in there. I did notice that it was when Pixel was up close, that's when he was terrifying. That's when he was doing the most work, especially against that arm set, because Mechanica's armor is just unbelievable. It's just so good. Please, please, Faz my ears, please.